Welcome to Do You Have a Clue? 90s Movie Edition. There are 3 ways to play. Are you ready? Let's begin. Round 1. Easy. There will be 6 clues for each movie in this round. If you guess it early, feel free to skip ahead or just watch and enjoy the additional clues. First clue. This 1994 film weaves multiple crime stories together in a non-linear timeline. Second clue. A boxer refuses to take a dive, setting off a chain of dangerous events. Third clue. 2 sharply dressed hitmen discuss the merits of European fast food. Fourth clue. A mysterious glowing briefcase becomes one of the movie's most iconic objects. Fifth clue. A twist contest at a retro-themed diner becomes an unforgettable scene. Sixth clue. Written and directed by Quentin Tarantino, it won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. What movie am I, with initials PF? Answer: Pulp Fiction. Next question. First clue. Which film features a mysterious figure living alone in a mansion above a pastel suburb? Second clue. Snow in this story has a surprising origin connected to the main character's creations. Third clue. A cheerful Avon saleswoman is the one who discovers the main character and brings him home. Fourth clue. In this movie, an outsider becomes locally famous for trimming hedges, cutting hair, and sculpting ice. Fifth clue. The gentle protagonist of this film has metal tools instead of hands. Final clue. This modern fairy tale is directed by Tim Burton and stars one of his most frequent collaborators. What movie am I with initials ES? Answer: Edward Scissorhands. Next question. First clue. This film follows a young man with a brilliant mind who'd rather work a blue-collar job than step into the spotlight. Second clue. The protagonist constantly pushes people away, especially when they get too close to uncovering his past. Third clue. A patient, sharp-witted therapist helps guide the main character toward confronting long-buried trauma. Fourth clue. A complicated math problem posted on a hallway chalkboard becomes the spark that changes everything. Fifth clue. Two real-life friends wrote and starred in this movie, launching their Hollywood careers. Final clue. This 1997 drama features the famous line, "How do you like them apples?" What movie am I with? Initials GWH. Answer: Good Will Hunting. Next question. First clue. A classic French novel about aristocratic deception inspired this modern adaptation. Second clue. A seemingly innocent diary becomes the key to exposing a carefully plotted scheme. Third clue. In this story, two privileged step-siblings treat manipulation like a competitive sport. Fourth clue. The main wager revolves around seducing someone known for her strong moral values. Fifth clue. A vintage car, a journal, and a necklace all play symbolic roles in the final act. Final clue. This 1999 teen drama stars Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Philippe, and Reese Witherspoon. What movie am I with initials CI? Answer: Cruel Intentions. Next question. First clue. This story follows a group of men who walk the same stretch of floor every day, one that leads only in one direction. Second clue. Illness, cruelty, and even a mouse become strangely connected through moments of compassion and the supernatural. Third clue. A gentle giant arrives on the block, possessing a mysterious gift that no one expects from a prisoner. Fourth clue. The head guard begins to question justice itself as miracles unfold before his eyes. Fifth clue. This film is based on a serialized novel written by Stephen King. Final clue. Tom Hanks stars in this emotional 1999 drama set on death row in the 1930s. What movie am I with initials TGM? Answer: The Green Mile. Round 2. In this round, you will only have 4 clues. Good luck. First clue. This film is set in a small Iowa town where a family's house becomes a local spectacle. Second clue. The eldest sibling struggles between duty to his family and the desire for a life of his own. Third clue. A traveling, free-spirited young woman and her grandmother get stuck in town when their camper breaks down. Final clue. One of the main characters spends much of his time climbing the town's water tower, to the frustration of local authorities. What movie am I with initials WEGG? Answer: What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Next question. First clue. A relationship that begins at an all-ages club slowly rewrites itself as a cautionary tale. Second clue. A man who secures buildings for a living finds his own home becoming the least safe place. Third clue. A smashed gift exposes an obsession that's been growing under the surface. Final clue. An amusement park ride becomes the moment everyone remembers, for better or worse. What movie am I with initials F? Answer: Fear. Next question. First clue. Wings of peace flutter in the midst of a church filled with vengeance. Second clue. A bulletproof plan is complicated by a daughter who trusts the wrong father. Third clue. The man in charge wakes up to find his greatest asset gone, and someone else wearing it. Final clue. A long-standing vendetta begins with a tragedy on a merry-go-round. What movie am I with? Initials FO. Answer: Face Off. Next question. First clue. Retirement plans unravel as youth and experience chase virtue through endless rain. Second clue. Salvation is promised only after surrender, when the hunter calmly becomes the captured. Third clue. A delivery in the desert answers a question no one wanted asked. Final clue. A dying man's appetite becomes the first message, carved in filth and excess. What movie am I? With initials S. Answer: 7. Round 3. This is the final round. There will be only 3 questions, and each question will have only 3 clues. Good luck! First clue. Much of the film's emotional weight centers on the deep bond between 2 women whose relationship is left deliberately ambiguous in the adaptation. Second clue. Justice is served indirectly when an abusive man's fate is concealed behind smoke, sauce, and an award-winning recipe. Final clue. An unofficial feeding program during the Depression turns a small cafe into an act of quiet rebellion against both hunger and authority. What movie am I? With initials FGT. Answer: fried green tomatoes. Next question. First clue. The film examines the blurred line between sanity and rebellion, highlighting the personal and societal pressures that define normal. Second clue. Healing is attempted with a mix of rules, rebellion, and a practitioner whose methods teeter on the unorthodox. Final clue. A narrator's escape is delayed by walls of institutional concern, where introspection is both cage and lens. What movie am I? With initials GI. Answer: Girl Interrupted. Final question. First clue. A historically grounded prince hides both charm and conflict behind polished manners. Second clue. A Renaissance figure, famous for inventions and art, makes a cameo that subtly grounds this fairy tale retelling in history. Final clue. A clever young woman navigates courtly intrigues and cruel guardians without a single spell. What movie am I? With initials EA. Answer: Ever After. And that's it for Do You Have a Clue? 90s Movie Edition. How many did you get right? Be honest, no rewinds. Drop your score in the comments. Hit like if you crushed it, and subscribe for more trivia challenges coming your way. Thanks for playing. And remember, in the 90s, movies had clues. But do you? See you next time.